What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Hockey here, back with another video, and today we're going to be looking at some Toronto Maple Leafs trade rumors. Now, a lot of people have been requesting a more in-depth look at some of the Leafs rumors that have been going around. And, you know, there's been a lot of videos where I've talked about other teams and stuff like that, and I am not against doing specific teams. So if there are some specific teams that you guys want trade rumors from, let me know. If there's nothing going on right now, then obviously I can't make a video on it. But, like, let's say it's Columbus and you want an update on Panarin, I can make a video about Columbus trade rumors. So today it's going to be the Toronto Maple Leafs. And, again, there's been so many questions. A lot of people have been asking about, obviously, regarding the defensive side of the game, and there's been some other rumors, which we will get to, that have been coming out. Nothing too huge, but, you know, it is August, so we're going to have some fun and talk about anything we possibly can at this point. So, if you're new, make sure you subscribe. Love to have more hockey conversations with you. Join the squad. Let's get to 4,000 subscribers. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Don't worry, if you want to see other videos, recommend them down below, and I will totally make a video on it. It's August. I need some ideas. So, please leave those down below. Also, if you want to buy an Andrew Piluk Hockey t-shirt, the link will be down below for those. And you'll see on the screen too, my buddy Spencer, thank you very much, made a graphic. You guys can see the link there, but that'll be down below. Also, if you want $20 off your first purchase with SeatGeek, use code APH in all caps. $20 off, you know, a ticket to a game, anything like that. That $20 is pretty good, so you might as well take it. APH in all caps. So yeah, also the link for Spector's Hockey will be down below. A lot of this information is coming from him as well. He brings all of the articles together and tells everybody about the trade rumors, so that's where most of it is coming from as well. But let's get into this. So there's three main rumors that have been going around lately, and some that have kind of been like, we keep coming back to them, basically, because there's been new information kind of pieced together every single time it's come up. So, the first one I'm going to quickly touch on is Josh Leivo. The second one is Calvin Pickard and the whole Leafs goaltending situation. And also the third one is the hunt for another defenseman. So, that's what, you know, the timeline of which we'll be going. But I did want to start with Josh Leivo because this one's kind of a smaller one, and it's something that's been brought up a little bit. James Merle has said that Josh Leivo has been involved in some trade rumors. Now, we do know last year that there could have been a request for a trade because Leivo has been left out of the lineup quite a bit. The Leafs will bring in, you know, other players, and Leivo is still sitting in the press box. And, you know, there's a lot of Leaf fans and probably some fans in the NHL that are frustrated because Leivo is 25 years old, and when he has come up with the Leafs, I mean, he hasn't done that bad of a job. He hasn't really been given a huge sample size, but from watching this guy play, I mean, the speed is there. He's got a wicked shot. Like, his shot is definitely the reason why people want him in the lineup. He's got a really good shot. And there was a stretch, I think, a couple years ago, the 2016-2017 season, I believe it was, where he had like 10 points and he looked really good. I think he had like 2 goals and 8 assists, and he looked really good. It wasn't like a point per game thing or anything, but I think he only played in like 14, 15 games, something like that, and he had 10 points. And it's like, you know what? He has the potential to do that. I've seen him live. I've seen him play live multiple times, and, you know, I don't really see any major holes in his game. He's a good bottom of the lineup type of forward, and I mean, that's the thing. Nobody really knows if he could explode and score a bunch. I mean, he's not going to be a star, but the fact of the matter is Josh Leivo can play on a lot of teams in the NHL. He's a good depth piece, and he is still pretty young at 25. He's kind of like a caged animal. He probably could go and play somewhere and do quite well. I mean, there's some people that think he could be a 15 to 20 goal scorer if you give him the time. I happen to think he's more on the 10 to 15 side, but there are some people that think he could explode at least one season and grab a 20-goal year. I mean, not a lot of people expected Connor Brown or Zach Hyman to score a bunch, and Connor Brown has a 20-goal year under his belt. So you have to look at it that way. There is a ceiling for him, and then there is kind of where you see him being at, like a 10 to 15 goal scorer, in my opinion. So we'll have to see how that plays out. I'd imagine, I don't know if the Leafs will make a package deal or anything like that, because Leivo could be an enticing piece for a package for something else. Nothing too crazy. Like, I'm not saying Leivo's going to sweeten a deal for Erik Karlsson. I mean, it could be a bottom pairing guy that we could sweeten a deal with Josh Leivo with. So keep that in mind, because the Leafs may be trying to package some pieces together to maybe acquire a depth defenseman or something like that. So keep that in mind, because I'm going to go into the next trade rumor, which is Calvin Pickard. Now, Pickard's been a pretty decent goaltender. I mean, he did well for the Toronto Marlies this season. I think his goals against average was around 2.3 something or 2.40, around there. But very, very good numbers. Him and Sparks were really good together. They're basically the best tandem in the AHL last season. I mean, I'm pretty sure they won an award for that. And of course, they're Calder Cup champions. So they both did quite well. And he had a very good save percentage as well. And in 50 games, not this past season because he didn't get to play a lot in the NHL, but I think it was the season before this past season, so a couple years ago, or seasons ago, he played like 50 games and had a goals against average that was under 3, and like a save percentage that was just like, I think it was like .904, .905. And that's respectable numbers. There were some goalies this year that had similar games played that didn't have those numbers. And Pickard's not an older guy either. Like, I don't even think he's 30 years old yet. I think he's still in like his mid-20s. I think he's maybe 26, 27 years old, something like that. Could be younger. Forgive me, I don't know everybody in the league's age, but he's definitely not on the back end of his career. He's a good goaltender that could either be a very good serviceable backup or a guy that could probably start some games for you. I mean, for Colorado, I'm pretty sure like I said, he had like 50 appearances and he didn't do too bad. And you know, there's some teams that could be looking at him for depth, whether that's him going back to the AHL for the respected team that he goes to, or he ends up as a backup or, hell, even a starter if somebody gets injured. I think that Pickard, as part of a package, he might have a little bit more value depending on the pieces that are with him, but a lot of Leaf fans are saying, oh, you know, the Leafs could get a bit for him. It would probably, to me, be like a very like low end type of like prospect defenseman, like nothing that's gonna like open your eyes and go, oh my god. Like, it's probably gonna be like a late draft pick, maybe like a 4th round pick, 5th round pick, something like that. I don't really think that Pickard's got an out of this world value, even though I do think he did quite well for the Marlies, and you know, he hasn't been a bad goaltender in his career. So again, that's something to look out for. And again, I keep saying there could be a package. If the Leafs are really going out there looking for a defenseman, which is something, again, I'm going to tie into the next piece here, having Levo, a pick, maybe somebody from the Marlies roster, and then Pickard, there could be teams that are looking for places to plug into their lineup, like Levo, boom, he's a bottom 6 forward. And then Pickard, boom, backup goaltender or starter in the AHL. Prospect, somebody decent going on their roster or filling out their AHL second line or first line, whatever. And then another pick to sweeten a deal. You never know if something like that could come to fruition. And it wouldn't be for a huge defender. It wouldn't be for no huge top defender. It would be for a decent bottom pairing defensive style defenseman that could have some potential, maybe a younger guy, maybe somebody that's, you know, in his late 20s, something like that. There's a possibility for that. But Leaf fans, please, I urge you, there's already a lot of people that don't like Leaf fans, and that's just how it is. I'm a Leaf fan, I hear it all the time, and that's why I had to clear the air with this video. There's a lot of questions I've been asking, a lot of things I've been told. Do not overvalue some of the pieces on the Leafs, and I keep trying to tell people this. I like Levo, I like Pickard, I like a lot of the guys that the Leafs think are like absolute studs that are going to get traded and we're going to get the world and back for them. It's not going to happen. You're going to get, if anything, you're going to get a late pick, you're going to get a prospect that a team has given up on, or, you know, you could package them together and maybe get a decent bottom pairing or maybe even second pairing guy, I don't know, but I don't think it would be any like huge value back. And again, that's not to say those guys are bums. It's just they haven't been playing in the NHL roster and tearing it up. You know what I mean? Like, Levo's been in the press box, and Pickard, for the most part, has been a backup goaltender. So you're not exactly going to get something huge back for them. And this is when I transition into the defensive rumors. So I'm going to clear up some things because, again, there have been a lot of rumor videos on this channel, and thank you guys. A lot of you guys really like the videos. Even if you don't agree with me, I do appreciate you coming to watch the video and at least having a conversation with me. But the fact of the matter is, we don't have to be so mean to each other. There's a lot of comments down below that are targeting me personally or people in the comments personally when they're just giving an opinion. Not everybody knows, okay? Not everybody knows exactly what a value is for a certain player. There could be some newer fans, some younger fans. Give them a break. They're not trying to just, you know, say, oh, it's going to happen. There's some people that are just having fun. It's August. trade rumors. The season's coming up. Let's just be civil here. Let's talk about the defense core of the Toronto Maple Leafs, okay? And I've said it before, I like a lot of the guys that the Leafs have. I'm a big fan of Morgan Rielly. I'm a big fan of Jake Gardiner, and a lot of people don't like him. Ron Hainsey is going to be on this team no matter what. In my eyes, I think he's got a locked-in spot with Rielly. Zaitsev, because of his contract and the fact that he could bounce back, is pretty much locked into this team as well. And you're probably going to see Travis Dermott locked in. I mean, how could he not be after how impressive he was at the end of last season and in the playoffs? He was shaky, but he had some good games. Justin Hall is a guy that probably is going to come up, and this is where Spectre's Hockey comes in as well, because he stated that you're probably going to see the Leafs, and James Myrtle stated this as well, you're probably going to see the Leafs test out some guys from the AHL before they go out there and just start spending and trying to bring in defensemen. There's not a ton of defensemen that are available via free agency, like Bieksa and like Spiza. Like, there's not a ton of guys out there, Franzen, that you're going to just invest in and be like, well, here we go, that's it. I think the Leafs really want to try out some of these guys from the AHL, like maybe Borgman, maybe Rosen. Ozhiganov was brought in to be a test to see what could happen. Carrick is still on this team. Everybody forgets about Connor Carrick. He could have a spot with Dermott. He could have a spot with Gardner, which I would prefer because I think that they played better together. But you're going to see all these guys battling for a spot. It's going to be healthy competition. So maybe even Marinson. Like, there's a lot of guys that are just going to be competing for spots. So you have to let Dubas look at those guys first. And I think that's what's going to happen. You're going to see how they do in camp. If it's just awful, Dubas is going to be forced to at least do something. If the preseason, if they're still looking okay, all right, then just let it rock for a little bit. Let's see how it goes. Again, if in the preseason they look awful, in the beginning of the season they look awful, Dubas is going to do something. We know Kyle Dubas is not just going to let this team have a terrible defensive core and everything goes wrong. He's going to try something. And whether that means bringing up more Marley's guys and trying different pairings, it's going to happen. The Leafs are going to score a lot of goals this year, and a lot of people are arguing that they shouldn't grab a defenseman. I'm one of the people that think that the Toronto Maple Leafs will wait till the trade deadline to acquire a defenseman, and it probably won't be a top pairing guy unless the Leafs look like legitimate threats to win the Stanley Cup, like they've been just tearing the league apart. But I think that the Leafs it would be fitting to grab a guy like Tanev from Vancouver, defensive style of guy. You probably won't be giving up too much, although you will be giving up a bit. I'm sorry, Canucks fans, but Tanev has been overvalued way too much. You're not getting William Nylander. You're not getting any of these top prospects or anything like that. It's not going to happen. I don't value him that much. I view Tanev as a really, really good defensive defenseman, but William Nylander is not a good comparable for a trade. And you guys think I'm crazy? Read Twitter, okay? There's 50 million accounts. That's a lot of accounts, but it's not 50 million. There's at least a couple hundred accounts that keep saying, oh, the Canucks are, they got to start with William Nylander. No, stop that, okay? Listen, every team overvalues certain players. Please do not tell me that William Nylander and Tanev, that's a good deal. It's not. But I think, getting back to what the Leafs will do, I think they're going to give some of their AHL guys a shot. If it goes terrible, they're obviously going to be forced to do something. If they're doing okay and everything looks all right going into the season, they're just going to try to score as much as possible and address the defensive need at the deadline. Because I do agree with a lot of people in the comments. They are not going to be ready for the playoffs if they don't at least add one more, decent defenseman that can lock in some minutes and play a defensive style of game and probably play with Jake Gardiner. Because people are like, oh, well, they got to get a top pairing guy to play with Morgan Rielly. Listen, just give Hainsey those minutes with Rielly. Nothing too crazy. Maybe give Gardner and whoever they get as a defensive style defenseman more minutes, so that way Gardner can do the offensive side of the game and whoever they get can do the defensive side of the game. And that doesn't mean Gardner won't play defense. He'll come back, do his thing, whatever. Please just let it happen, guys. If they get Erik Karlsson, which is not going to happen, so many people want it, then obviously this is a different conversation. But I think the Leafs are going to go after a defensive-minded type of defenseman. Whether it's now would be great. If they could do that now, great. But I think they're going to test it out, wait till the deadline, see what happens, and then, if they grab somebody, great. If they don't, they're probably not going to be, Stanley Cup in the first season with Tavares and all these guys like that. So let me know what you guys think about these rumors. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. Love to have more hockey conversations with you. Join the squad. Let's get to 4,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for all the support lately. And again, recommend whatever videos you guys want to see. Also, if you're going to the first preseason Toronto Maple Leafs game, let me know down below. I will be there. Live streams coming up. ASAP Hockey collabs coming up. Use code APH at SeatGeek in all caps. So that way you guys can get $20 off your first ticket purchase there. Concert tickets, game tickets, whatever. They show you guys the best deals on there. It's usually green. That's when it shows you a good deal. $20 off. Why not, right? And yeah, if you want to buy a t-shirt, links down below. I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. Peace.